Hello, everybody. Welcome. Rosa Psych Investigator. Hello, Everybody, welcome. Rosa Psych Investigator. So, guys, I am addressing a topic that has been going on, has been brewing for a while, which is the estrangement between Trump and Tucker Carlson, and specifically Tucker Carlson now is talking about the Trump assassination and suggesting that there's some. I mean, we believe that too in different ways. He's suggesting that there's something shady with the assassination attempt, which we believe that too. But of course, I think we're not aligned with Tucker Carlson, right? But let's see. I find it very interesting because there's um something off about it. Oh, and it's funny, I'm already getting information. Interesting. So let's do the protection. I like to ask for protection, a beautiful ray of light coming on top of my head as I breathe in. I feel my lungs as I breathe out. I create a circle. I create a circle. I step into it. I step into it. I feel protected. I feel connected. I like to ask that information come only from the highest sources, that it create the good and only the good, and so it is. Okay. All right. So, oh, something fell. Oh, crystal. It's important. Is this okay? It was right here. So no, because this topic is heavy. So back to the situation of the so-called assassination attempts. We believe that it was fake, and we know that Tucker Carlson has strong connections to it. And I wouldn't put it. No, it tells me no, where's they're involved. There's some connection. What I mean they're involved in is not the connection of with Tucker Carlson is established. But what I mean is this the shadiness of the of what happened in those assassination attempts, and I think in a way it connects to the whole Charlie Kirk thing, and also I feel like Rauch was involved. I think maybe they knew stuff, like to say minimally, okay? And I do think that it was somebody connected to Trump. Honestly, like I never believe, I don't think anybody in this channel believed that it was a legit thing. There was something weird about that, to say the least. But the fact that Tucker Carlson is talking about it suggests to me, that's what I was saying, I picked up, is that I get this background that is putting pressure on Trump through this, using Tucker Carlson as as the spokesperson for their talking points, in that they're saying, we know the truth about what happened there, and we're going to use Tucker to pressure you. So it tells me that there is already a lot of this pressure on this. It's significant because it's again, but don't usually talk about Tucker Carlson, to as you guys know, but I'm getting a lot of almost like spiritual information from this without even starting, as if there's something really hot in here, right? And it's yet another instance of pressures on Donald's. Okay, Donald's. So, all right, so let's get started. Okay, so Carlson says FBI is covering up details on Trump assassination attempt. Tucker Carlson has fully committed to as a MAGA turncoat, with shocking claims about an assassination attempt against President Trump. The former Fox News host teased on next Thursday that the FBI lied about Thomas Crooks, the 20-year-old who attempted to kill Trump at a July 2024 campaign rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, and he had proof to back it up. The FBI told us Thomas Crooks tried to kill Donald Trump last summer, but somehow had no online footprint. Carlson wrote, the FBI lied. We can prove it because we have hit his posts. The question is why? Story tomorrow. The FBI newly launched rapid response account replied to deny the claim, saying this FBI has never said Thomas Crooks had no online footprint ever. On Friday morning, Carlson followed up by posting a 34-minute video to X where he bashed information shared by the FBI under oath Biden and Trump regarding Trump's attempted assassin as incomplete and misleading. That day, Thomas Crooks came within quarter inch of destroying this country, and yet a year and a half later, we still know almost nothing about him or why he did it. And that's because for some reason, the FBI, even the current FBI, doesn't want us to know. Crooks, a registered Republican, shot from a nearby rooftop on July 13th, 2024, and was killed by Secret Service agents. A rally attendee was killed, and Trump's ear was grazed by a bullet shot by Crooks. Okay, so I'm not going to get into all of, every single word of this, but that is the core. Now, I want to know this. There's two things to know. Why is Tucker Carlson doing this? What information does he have? Okay, and then the second it's the why, and then we can actually ask what happens, because it is strange, right? Given how propaganda prone Trump is, you would think that he would continue to talk about that man, how awful he would. Because if somebody, it doesn't make sense that they don't talk about it anymore. Once the guy did the deeds, it was like, forget about it, right? It was like, it's done kind of thing. But it's a very serious situation. They're not investigating. They're not looking, at least publicly, right? So this would, right? Don't you think it's like this would be something that Trump could have exploited? I don't mean it's just to say like, oh, look, somebody wanted to do this to me, but it's like everything about it feels very fake. I don't know how else to put it. So, what is he like? What is the story in the end? Okay, but first we start with the question. So let's do the protection. I like to ask for protection, a beautiful ray of light coming on top of my head as I breathe in. I feel my lungs as I breathe out. I create a circle. I create a circle. I step into it. I step into it. I feel protected. I feel connected. I like to ask that information come only from the highest sources, that I create the good and honor the good, and so it is. So Carlson says FBI is covering up details on Trump assassination attempt. Why is Carlson bringing this up? What is his goal here? So why is Carlson bringing up this? So I see this image of Carlson with, when you see these uh like trials that are recorded, sometimes the lawyer has a picture of something that he brings out. Or even the house, remember how Marjorie, actually Taylor Greene, had an image of Hunter Biden. She brought up the picture. So it shows me the image of Tucker Carlson holding these images, as if like here's the evidence. And I see that in his ear he has a lot of journalists that like on the news, they have his like earpieces, and there's a cable that connects to that. So he's being instructed to talk about this. And then it shows me this. So the setup is this, and then it's hard to explain. It's like this. It's like it shows me a piece of cloth that has attached to a display case or something like that, and that Tucker Carlson is about to lift the lid, as if to say, to lift the lid on the truth about what happened here with Trump. So Tucker Carlson is teasing this to essentially to threaten Trump with the information that he has access to about the various fraudulent events that happened. But I say this is more than fraudulent; it's criminal, because it is okay. Spirit is telling me they organized this essentially as a false flag operation. Is that right? Like they knew it was going to happen like this, and they knew this is not. It was planted. The guy was planted there. This it's saying. Okay, he was or like okay, even though guys, it sounds like a conspiracy theory, but the whole thing with it, I don't think it is not the CIA or anything, but it was similar to what happened with, like, there's a story of the guy, Oswald guy, that he was planted there. He was like told to be there, and then some. Does it make sense? Like there's just it's not just a random lone wolf person. There's more to the story that they found these people on these online. That's why that it's saying that's why he. So it's true. What he's saying is true. They're not giving the information about the whereabouts online um, activity of the in depth because he acted alone, yes, but he was instructed, he was pushed to go to do things a certain way. It wasn't just a crazy guy because he who and how would he have that much information about about T okay. So that's the goal here, but a lot of questions, guys. It's just put up. So okay, so then okay, the next question is, let's ask like this. We can ask two questions, I think. What does Tucker Carlson know that we don't know? So as I'm telling you this, and it, guys, it's so interesting because as I'm telling you, I'm picking up a lot of this, almost like spirits really want me to talk about it. There's a lot of information coming through to me in ways that a lot of other times that things don't come through as strongly. I don't know how to explain it. It's like the sense of urgency. I get it and a lot of push for me to say these things to talk about it. Okay. So the first question is, what does Tucker Carlson know that we don't know about the whole assassination attempt? And then the next question would be, what is the story here? Okay, because this is an interesting segue into this question. Now, what I'm also getting is that the reason why Tucker Carlson is starting sort of early, like he's getting to like, oh, why isn't the FBI giving us information, right? Because he has it, but it's meant to be like a year, like a long process of him revealing information to then get the base, right? The I think the MAGA base on his side, and then kind of take, yes, it seems to take down operation. Oh, and that right is helping him with that. All right, that's what I'm getting. All right. So let's go to the question. What does Tucker Carlson know that we don't know about the whole assassination attempt? Yeah, I see these two men training him, the kid. And that's right. And they're like, you're going to go there. You're going to do this. You're going to do two men. One, it's not Tucker Carlson, obviously, but it has a similar hairstyle or like, and with military gear, he was trained. He was told how to shoot that particular gun, where, in which direction. And he was like, it's hard to explain because I see this man talking to him and they were wearing hunting kind of clothes. And this guy, he looks to be has a similar, honestly, looks a bit similar to Tucker Carlson in like some, but longer, somewhat curly hair, brown hair, Caucasian. Okay, and then and I see that they're like, okay, we're gonna do this, train him, like they're training him, putting a lot of like mental pressure on him and explaining we're gonna like they've done it enough times that they knew he was gonna go ahead with it and he was gonna know how to shoot. So, and there's another person that is works with this guy. This other man has a beard. So, okay, now, okay, so then that's right. They train him, and they have that's right. Wow, and it seems that may have recorded this because they were helping plan this somehow, and to ensure that nothing would really happen to Trump. Wow, this is I'm sure you have to be like professional, like random people are not like not only like how are they going to teach this to the kid, but also how they're gonna like, how do you teach them not to do something? Like, you know what I mean? To do this, but in a way that is like they are really good like this, these people. So, okay, so that's why he knows who helped plan it. And there's wow, then I see Stephen Miller. Like there's somebody on the camp of Trump, right? Because you remember, guys, when this thing happened, how lit up the right was. Like how it seemed to it just seems so coordinated. it didn't seem like, you know what I'm saying? I know because it was such an evil thing to do, but right. And that is saying it's saying while the Epstein situation is being exposed, this thing is also very damaging, like when it comes out. Okay. So, wow, this guys has been really unexpected and really, it's really interesting. Okay. Wow. So let's go to the next level of the question. Wow, it's bringing up a lot of things. So now the next question is, what is the truth about the assassination attempt and will it come out, right? Because that's the key here. It was, guys, it was like so much that was brought up. Okay. So what is the truth about the assassination attempt and will it come out? Oh, there's a timer. The guy this puts shows me back at the scene where they were training this guy. There was one person really, and the other it stays in the background, the man with the beard, training him and everything. So okay, so the truth is that's right. He was trained. It was like almost like a military type operation. Not that I would know how it works, but it was rehearsed so many times, and then it's done. It was done. Okay, so and then he goes and it happens, and they clean up, and I see them ha ha laughing because it was fake, but they used the kid. So oh, and then it's showing me. Remember how there was a somebody died actually. Trump didn't die, but this guy died. So I apologize to say that nothing happened. Somebody died. So, but the guy's laughing here, and oh, we did it, we did it. Wow. And I guys, unfortunately, I say that saying Bosco would be proud of us. In other words, it's like a style, like a false flag operation. And then the style that they may, they may have trained the people that trained the kid. Okay. So, wow. So, so this is that. And that, okay, then it shows me Stephen Miller. They told him there's a signal, there's a connection. I don't think it's very overt because they had to be more careful to communicate how they were going to communicate with the White House. But there is something here connected to Stephen Miller, and Trump knew, of course, about this ahead of time. So, so again, that is it's telling me that is the truth. Now, will it come out and when or how? Today's 16th. December 7th. Wow. It's saying it's gonna be, it's more, it's saying the actual evidence has to come out later in 2026. So will it be proven that this was, yes, it's saying it will. And it's pretty, and I see that, you know what it is? I see that may want to show that they know. And that's why they're using Tucker Carlson here to humiliate Trump. And I remember I've always said that at the end, they will burn the asset, which is Trump, right? They will show that all the shady stuff they've done. And this is why, guys, you know, the story of like this, what they call compromat is like, it could be that like, they have somebody gave them information, they could give information of a person that is compromising, but just working with them, like, you know, a person, let's say the election stuff, right? Like if you've worked on the election stuff, every single person who worked on it is already compromised because the foreign country that worked with you can then say, look, if you don't do this or that, I'm going to tell the world that you helped change the election. You're going to go to prison. So does it make sense? So every single person here is compromised. And that's another way that they could be used. So, okay, so that's why, but I see that in the end, as they see that there's no way, the Russians see there's no way for them also, then they want to tell the world how good their intelligence services were. Right? That they had all this information. And I think I hope, no, I would be grateful for them if they do that because at least the mask is removed from them. Okay. Like nobody, I mean, obviously we don't think that they're legit, but some people do still think that Trump is legit. So those people are going to be surprised. So very interesting. Okay, so let's look at some cards. Wow, this is I'm processing. Big, big. Okay. Okay. Okay, so now we're gonna look at why Tucker Carlson is card fell. Oh, into the stain. Already the card fell. So that's Dark Secrets coming out. So why Tucker Carlson is focusing on the Trump assassination attempt and what will be the outcome of his efforts. Okay. Okay, another one is here. Restless. Okay, so then hidden. Oh wow, guys, a tower upside down. Really interesting to see it like this. Because in other words, he's trying to create things he's trying to create the collapse, I think, right? Okay. All right. The Hermit and Hermit also, it's a hidden person, somebody quiet, but it's actually bringing up from what is quiet, the truth about, right? The dark stuff, which is the high priestess upside down. The Epstein scandal has more to do with that card, I think, naturally, but it's interesting that it fell. This card fell, telling us something. All right, so here is vision, money, recognized. Lots of vision, hope. Yeah. Okay, why? Okay, hope that this now it's interesting, because actually this card in context, vision, spirituality, it could also mean sometimes illusions. And if we think of propaganda, right, it's a bit like this. Okay, so I don't think, and I goes, I'm sorry, that considering that, like to create an image right? So bringing up the imagery, the big thing that will make something come out and be recognized. Okay, so why now and what's the outcome? Well, look, this is the thief, right? That's right. Hope. Now it's interesting because this card here, the German Kipper, was also die Hoffnung means hope, right? So, okay, the bed. Okay, remember the bed card. So it's just funny. Look at this person. I depress. Looks a bit like Jared Kushner. Okay, that's right. Hope. Okay. And then let's see here. This last type. Sick. Okay, sickness. Okay. Okay. A main female. Message of concern. Negotiations. Okay, it's interesting. I wasn't expecting this, to be honest, but in some ways it could be. I mean, this is the fact that hope appears twice, even though I thought this card was a propaganda. It could also mean a distraction from the Epstein files, right? Which is kind of interesting. I didn't think of it that way, because there's all the women, like the story of the Epstein thing is here too. So, okay. All right. So, because the visions, I saw the visions very clear. So, all right. So, um, okay. So let's ask the next part is what is the true story of what is the true story of the assassination attempt? Okay, so let's see. Okay, defeat, quid pro quo, debts, something legal. Weird, okay. That's something objective, something legal. Of travel, it could be something, a lot of money. Meeting, gathering, judge, anger, Oh no, it's funny. Judge, jealousy, and anger. Now, judge. Okay, jealousy. And this is a card of anger. Okay. So, judge, jealousy, and anger. So it's really interesting. What's this is missing? Defeat, change. Now, that's right. Judge. Change the judgment because they thought they were going to be defeated. A lot of money here. People in debt. Okay, money for jealousy. Gathering, and it says an objective or something. Organized. Okay, family room, private. Work, occupation, private, definitely professional. Message. So there's messages. Okay, essentially. The judge. Now, the judge could be something legal, but it's funny because these two things are connected. Tell me more about the judge. Okay, here is, let me put this aside for 1 second because I am truly curious about the judge here and the judge kind of like connected here. So one more here for, okay, money. Yeah, weird. Money, electing something. Another card, Sea of Intellect and organized, like, okay, trip, right? Foreign. Now, ecclesi oh, interesting. Now, it could see, guys, think about the religious right. This is a person who is a mentor. So, could be a foreign mentor. Sadness. Take advantage of it. Okay, so what about the jealousy? Let's see. So, what is about all this money? What is that? Tell me. It's saying money could also mean the amount of like things that are pieces of evidence, abundance of something concrete. So, and there's money involved. That's why you can trace the money. The people that got trained got paid. And even this kid could have been paid, actually, saying yes. So tell me about the person the Thomas guy. Tell me about it. Okay. So will it come out, right? Okay, so will it come out as a Thomas guy? What is it? Again, I had access and visions, and it's pretty intense, guys. When I looked at it. Okay, so imbalanced success coming out. Interesting, big cards. Everything's gonna come out, and this goes back to the cards of the other card I saw of travel. Remember, there were two travel cards, so something foreign definitely connected to this according to the cards. Okay, so here we have falsche Person. Okay, so again, from far away, far trip, far something. The military, now this could be official. So the military, so this means it could be the law enforcement or the person, no, the person have military training to do this. And I don't think it was him. I think it was a falsche Person from far. There was somebody else that is not yet known. Okay, that's what I get. Now, here we have wealthy man. A lot of money. Weird, right? The money cards. Child. Now, child is a person without experience. And there's money in preparing this thing because it's saying the organizing and like the logistics of this is not for amateurs, it's telling me. Okay. So, more here. What else? This. Okay, so, oh, that's right. Death card. Ideas. Desire. Now, Sehnsucht, guys, what's really interesting about this card? Usually, this card is the German word for Sehnsucht is not the same as desire. Sehnsucht is more like longing. But what's fascinating about this card, the Italian style of cards also use this imagery. Somebody by the window. And that's exactly right. If somebody is trying to kill somebody, that's the position they're in. So does it make sense? They had the idea, they had the planning to put the guy in a position where he would be. And this is like, I don't remember the exact name of the Italian card that corresponds to this, but it's a person who's sitting in a kind of a high place who's observing everything that's going on, which was exactly where the guy was, right? So it's saying a lot of organized. And here, so what is the meant like? So what is going to be the out? Okay, what is going to be the outcome? Are we going to find out? How are we going to find out about the people who helped plan this, not the kid? How are we going to find out? Are we going to find out? And unburden somebody important. Okay, behind the scenes, somebody important in the establishment. Good. Okay. Okay, again, the card of theft, right? Okay, this is a card of a deal. Woman. Okay, could be a woman that is kind of like me and know somebody. Okay, for a long time. Again, look, the military card again. Now, I think well, this, if you look at the eye imagery, right? Somebody, I do think that this is for a long time. Somebody, okay, in the military. Now, here again, the woman suggesting that somebody close is it close to the military? Somebody who is close to the person who helped train the kid. I think it is. That's what it is. Here, distant horizons. Now, the vision, it could also be the plan, right? Distant visions, courtship meetings, right? Wow, guys, look at this card is coming up all the time. Official person. Now, no, it tells me, no, Rosie, this is not about the law enforcement investigating the situation. No, this is about people with military backgrounds being involved and trained. And the woman close to the man who has a military background is going to be the person who is first going to talk about it. Okay. So, wow, this took an unexpected turn. I was really not expecting it to be so in depth. Okay. All right. So thank you for watching. But in spirits are like, no worries. We want you to talk about this stuff. Please keep going. All right. Okay. So thank you for watching, guys. Okay. Bye.